Good morning po everyone. Today I will be presenting chapter 11 of the Gender of Desire by Michael Eskimo titled What's Love Got to Do with It? Rape, Domestic Violence, and the Making of Men. So yung chapter na to nagpo-focus kung paano nagko-contribute yung societal expectations ng masculinity sa violence, especially sa violence against women, including yung rape and domestic abuse. And then, i-connect natin yung mga ideas na to sa kung ano man yung nakikita natin sa sarili nating society today. So, sa chapter na to, inargue ni Kimmel na yung violence, especially yung violence against women, is not a personal issue, kundi gender issue. Pag yung mga lalaki nagko-commit ng rape or abuse, nagre-reflect yon sa definition ng society natin kung ano nga ba talaga ang masculinity. So, china-challenge tayo dito na para intindihin how boys are socialized into becoming men in ways na nagli-lead ng violence and domination. So, makikita natin dito kung paano nako-construct ang masculinity and bakit nagmamatter ito sa laban natin against gender-based violence. So, the making of men. So, ina-argue kasi ni Kimmel that boys are taught to suppress emotions like sadness and fear. Okay, so, ang masculinity hindi siya natural. Natuturo to. So, from young age pa lang, the boys are told to man up, na hindi umiyak, and to be tough. And then, napipraise sila pag aggressive and dominant. So, in-explain ni Kimmel na yung version ng masculinity na to, nagva-value ng control, dominance, and power, and even violence. And also, emotional silence. So, sa gantong environment, ang pagpapakita ng empathy or vulnerability is nakikita na silang weakness or unmanly. Like, for example, in Filipino culture, men are often told, lalaki ka, huwag kang hiyak, or kalalaki mong tao, ganito ka, ganyan-ganyan. So, dinidiscourage yun ng emotional expression, and yung emotional suppression na yun, nagko-contribute siya sa poor conflict resolution and sometimes violence sa relationship. Okay, so violence against women. And yung rape as an act of power. So, ina-emphasize kasi ni Kimmel na yung rape is not about sexual desire. It's about power. And yung men's violence is often used to assert control over women and nagre-reflect yung power imbalance ng society natin doon. So, maraming mga rapists hindi sila strangers na nagtatago lang dyan sa gedli-gedli, pero karamihan sa kanila ay mga acquaintances, boyfriends, or husbands ng mga victims. And then, ginagamit yung rape na yan or yung act na yan para mag-assert ng control and para i-dominate yung mga babae. So, may case nung 2020 kung saan yung 15-year-old is sa Quezon City na rape ng stepfather niya. And then nag-reflect doon kung paano nagpi-play yung control and authority sa abuso. And then that man is hindi siya stranger. Stepfather siya. And like father figure siya nung girl, nung bata. And ginamit niya yung power na yon para i-dominate yung bata. So, domestic violence and control. Yung violence against women is usually na-normalize or na-excuse na because of kung ano yung view natin sa masculinity. So, domestic violence is another way kung saan ang mga lalaki na-assert nila yung control nila over their partners. So, hindi lang siya physical abuse, pwede siyang emotional, sexual, financial. And, ina-explain kasi dito ni Kimmel sa chapter 11 na when men, kung nafe-feel na ng mga lalaki na yung authority nila is nafe-threatened, perhaps, usually because tingin nila na mawalan sila ng purpose, like mawalan sila ng trabaho, or may nangyaring unexpected, or kung yung partner nila na babae is nagiging independent, usually nagre-resort sila sa violence para i-reclaim yung dominance or yung control about the situation. So, example, kasi sa Pilipinas, domestic violence is usually nagsa-strike siya pag may mga disasters or job loss, or kung when men ay nag-experience sila ng stress and frustration from lost control. So, the making of men. So, how do boys become men who hurt others? So, nagsa-start to sa socialization kung saan ang mga batang lalaki are rewarded for dominance and punished for being soft. So, peer pressure, reinforce to ng toxic behaviors like teasing, bullying, or proving na yung manhood, um, proving na ang pagiging pagkalalaki or yung manhood is through violence or sex. So, tinatawag to ni Kimmel na performative masculinity kung saan ina-act ng mga lalaki kung sa ano yung tingin nila na kung ano ba dapat ang pagiging lalaki. What they think a man should be. So, example nito is yung fraternity hazing rituals, which nag-involve siya ng violence and humiliation. And then, pinapakita dito kung paano yung mga young men, kung paano sila nagbabond through domination and pain. And humiliation din. So, hindi lang siya about initiation, it's about proving worth as a man. So, sa Philippine context naman, so, sa bansa kasi natin, the numbers are alarming kasi according sa PSA, 1 in 4 women ay naka-experience na ng intimate partner violence. And marami pa ang mga hindi nare-report na abuso kasi nga natatakot sila or shame or lack of support or minsan halos lahat ng not halos lahat or minsan kasi hindi alam ng mga babae na inaabuso na sila kasi part ng abuso naman yung manipulation or ginagaslight, ganito ganyan. And then yung iba hindi alam mag-report because the lack of support and lack of education. And then cultural expectation, usually kasi in-excuse na lang nila yung mga violence na ganyan talaga yung mga lalaki, na may mga needs ang mga lalaki, that's why they do this and do that. And then sa worse pala or worse, blame nila yung mga women na baka because of what they wear or kung paano sila manamit, magsalita, ganito ganyan, or kung nasaan sila, ganito, na bakit ba kasi sila nandoon. And then we have media representation. So ang media kasi nanonormalize yung male aggression and objectifies women. So yung media, nagpe-play siya ng big role. Like yung mga films, TV shows, and social media, nagpo-portray siya ng aggressive or controlling men as real men. Real men. So yung women ay are shown as prizes or as needing to be tamed. So example, sa mga teleserye, common na sa male lead na ibalibag, forcefully kiss or grab yung female character. And then, eventually sa ending ma-fall in love yung babae sa lalaki. And then yung mga scenes and scenarios na ganito, nagsasend sila ng dangerous message sa mga audiences, especially kung yung mga nanonood na yun, yung mga batang lalaki or mga lalaki, nagsasend sila ng parang misinformation about consent and love. And then, kailangan natin mag-promote ng media na nag-highlight ng mga healthy relationship or emotional openness and respect. Now, paano nga ba natin to mababago? Una is education. So, kailangan natin ng gender sensitivity education para sa mga bata. Like for both boys and girls. Kailangan natin ituro ang empathy and respect, hindi dominance. So, second is yung policy. Kailangan natin palakasin yung laws like Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children or Republic Act 9262 and make sure na na-enforce ito effectively. And then lastly, yung community involvement. Kailangan mag-encourage tayo ng honest conversations about what it really means to be a man. Hayaan natin na mag-express yung mga lalaki ng emosyon nila, to let them have a platform or space para i-express yung sarili nila, to be vulnerable without sa fear ng judgment or without the fear of losing their masculinity. Ngayon, kailangan natin silang isuportahan yung mga lalaki who choose kindness and vulnerability, not violence. So, yung gender violence, in conclusion, nagre-reflect siya sa cultural definition natin ng manhood. So, to wrap up, yung chapter ni Kimmel, nare-remind tayo dito na yung gender-based violence is hindi lang siya individual behavior, kundi dahilan to ng kultura na nagsishape sa ating mga behavior. So, kung gusto nating bawasan ng mga rape and domestic violence, we need to rethink masculinity. Kasi, we need to create a society kung saan ang pagiging lalaki, it doesn't mean having power. Especially having power over women. So, kailangan natin gumawa ng society to, where being a man doesn't mean to having power over women, but standing beside them in equality. Yun lang po. Thank you. So that is it for chapter 11. What's love got to do with it? Rape, domestic violence, and making of men. Yun lang po. Thank you, ma'am.